Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Lauren Brown, and I'm here with my best friend, Ashley.
Hi.
We've known each other since we were in kindergarten, and this past week we talked about Ian. We're going to talk about Kyle this week. So I wanted to bring her along and interview her and ask her how she felt growing up and stuff like that. So why don't we start out with you telling us a little bit about yourself?
So my name is Ashley, as she said. I've known the Browns family for 18 years. So I've grown up around them. Lauren and I have been hanging out with each other since we were little. We were together all the time. I love you, but we were.
Yes.
So I was constantly like around her brothers and her whole family, and yes, that's how I know them.
All right. So that's a little bit about her, and we'll just get started with the questions then. All right. How did you react to my brothers when we were younger?
When I was younger, it took me a while to kind of get acclimated to them. My cousin she has a mental disability as well, but the severity of your brothers was much different from my cousin. So, I mean, I can have a conversation with her and, sit and talk to her. So it was different from going with her to being with your brothers. So it's like they can't really talk. Their form of communication is different. So, I mean, at first it took a while to get used to them.
Okay. Right. So it was a little bit overwhelming, probably.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Right. So we'll just transition to the next one, I guess.
Usually happens.
Okay. Cool. All right. So next question. All right. How did you interact with my brothers when we were younger?
With both of them, watching lots and lots of Disney movies. Mary Poppins. I never watched Disney movies growing up. The only time I really did was when I was with Ian and Kyle, because that's all that they would watch. It was crazy because, like, they would know exactly when to pause it and when to play it, and it's like they knew, like, the exact point when they're watching. I'm like, that's awesome. It was so cool to me. Like, I could not do that.
Right. We literally knew all of the Disney songs growing up. We could recite all of the movies. It was fantastic. We watched it in the morning and after school. So we were, you asked us anything about any Disney movie, we
got that.
Yeah, it was fantastic. So, all right. Next question. Let's see. Oh, did you ever get frustrated with my brothers at all, or?
The only thing I ever did was when Kyle was younger, and he'd be a lot more aggressive. So that's when he was, like, fighting a lot more. Right. And at first, because I was younger, like, I didn't know what to do, and I'd get a little bit scared. So, and it's like, your brother is, like, a pretty big kid. So it was just scary having, like, this kid running up to me, and I'm like, what do I do? But, like, once I got used to it, and once, like, the older he grew, does that make sense?
Yeah.
So the older he got, the more he, like, learned to kind of control that and to be able to communicate a little bit better. So that was the only time that I was ever really frustrated with them.
Right. So you just, as we grew up, you got more comfortable with them and more acclimated, and it was kind of like normal to you in a way. Yeah. And
part of
more accepting. Yeah. Literally, Ashley and I spent like every day together growing up, K through 12. We drove to school together. We drove home together. We hung out on the weekends, had sleepovers. So she was around my brothers all the time, just as much as I was. And we had this gigantic trampoline in the middle of our living room. We would all play on it, we had a banister, and we would jump off of that. And it was super fun growing up, but it was just a different experience. And, I'm glad I had somebody to share it with. So. Yay! So Ashley's going to tell us a funny story about Ian, since this week was about Ian. So, why don't you go ahead and do that?
So with Ian, as Lauren had described in one of the previous videos, he would use this thing called PECs to communicate, so they're like little pictures. Well, he loved Oreo cookies. Like, he loved them. And in the morning, I would always be there, but everyone else was upstairs getting ready. So he would come downstairs and, like, kind of, like, hang out with me, and then he'd bring me the little PECs that says, like, I want cookies. And I knew that he loved Oreos, so I figured that's what he wanted.
Right.
So I'd always, like, I knew where the keys were, because we'd always have to hide the keys from the boys.
Right. Lock the pantry, so they wouldn't go in there.
So I'd get the keys, and I'd go, and I'd give him a cookie. This was on, like, every morning for so long, for, like, a lot of years that I was at Lauren's house every morning. Then Lauren's dad comes downstairs one time, and Ian hands him the same picture thing. And his dad was like, no, you know that you're not supposed to have cookies in the morning. And all I could think was, oh, no. Like, I have done this for so long not knowing. I haven't said anything at all for so long. I just recently told Lauren about it. it was pretty funny. He
Yeah.
he was a smart kid. He knew that I didn't know.
Sneaky.
So he knew, like, to come to me because I'm like, okay, sure, go ahead, have a cookie at 8:00 in the morning.
Exactly. Like, yeah, when you're a kid, you want cookies at 8:00 in the morning, and Ian knew to go to Ashley. Just because they can't communicate with their words, they still know they're still smart, and they communicate through the little pictures. So he took advantage of Ashley basically. But I don't know. I thought that was hilarious when she told me, and I wanted to share it with you guys.
They also steal my sodas.
Oh, yes. Ian is very good at stealing sodas, so if you're around him, be careful, because he will steal it.
Take it.
We were at the Mardi Gras for Autism, as you can see, she's wearing the shirt, and we were at a booth, and he literally just went up and took somebody's soda.
It's what he does. You don't leave sodas around. He will take them for sure.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's just a little bit of an insight on growing up with Ian and Kyle. So, yeah, thanks for being with us today, Ashley. I appreciate it. All right, guys, we will see you guys next week. So, yeah, have a great week. Thanks.
Bye.